wherever I heard noise, that's where I went. If you're looking through the window instead of looking in that mirror, a certain amount of what comes out of you is just exploration, you know.
Before we go further into today's episode, I'd like to talk about our proud partnership, BetterHelp, as I'm really strong on mental health and well-being, and I have taken counseling myself and admit to be the best investment ever made. BetterHelp is equipped with excellent mental health professional and all that at the reach of your hand. They offer outstanding number of online therapy for individuals, couples, and businesses. Go at betterhelp.com/1i2us and get 10% off your first month of online therapy. Find your mental health professional and start session now. Link can be found in our Instagram page. You're going to be happy, just like tomorrow. Enjoy today's show. Stay safe and happy minds. Hello and welcome to another episode of the ISTLS podcast. Today, we're going to have a really fun conversation about mindful eating. Process this. Really fun conversation about mindful eating. Big part of this fun conversation is going to be because we have a guest, and our guest has plenty of knowledge and tips on how you can incorporate a good nutrition in your daily life. The reason why I wanted to make this episode, it's like I mentioned before, I was adopted. I was adopted from Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and when I was adopted, I was weighing 16 pounds at 16 months, and I was malnourished. I had a bacteria inside of me, and what I got from that is I got some health problem growing up. I got a really bad I started with a really bad relationship with food, as I did not really enjoy food, and then my teenage year where I started to eat food a lot, and from there, I didn't know how to balance it. I was eating a lot of sugar. It's not saying that my parents fed me all the bad things. They fed me all the good things. You know, I was just a bad boy. I'm just kidding. But I was eating a lot of sugar growing up. And sometimes the things that we think that we should eat, the suggestions, is not really the right thing to eat when I'm growing up. I had a chance to do a bodybuilding competition in my early adulthood, and maybe that's where I had a disconnection with food, because I was forced to eat a lot of food. Maybe I was not seasoning it enough, but I was not allowed to season it. So I was eating a lot of food, such as chicken and potatoes and just bland meat, and good food too. But once my bodybuilding competition ended, I realized that the big part of it was a mental game on how to eat well, how to eat food, because most of the food that you're eating is just to get you to a goal, but it's not really in the goal of pleasure. Later on in my life, when I started to practice different cooking style, I've realized that I was really disconnected with food, and I was not necessarily still eating. I was still stuck in bad habits, fast food or food that are not nutritious. And it's been a few years that I've started adopting better cooking habits, which is more regulated and more consistent, but also balanced. I've understood that being easy on myself on what I'm eating is a big key of me reaching my goals. So for the past couple of years, I started cooking with herbs in order to eat better and also heal my body naturally and get the right things in order to, because your your body is never going to stop growing. You're going to grow until your your heart literally stop beating. So with that came with putting away my devices when I was eating and stop eating in front of the TV watching Netflix. And that's why I wanted to do an episode today about mindful eating and the ways we can adapt nutritious nutritious healthy eating habits. So I was not going to do this episode on my own. I brought one of my friends and one person that I've met a few years ago that really was able to bring a different perspective on eating. And my guest is dedicated on bringing healthy, nutritious ways to his clients and also coach his clients into healthier habits. So without further ado, I'll let my guest introduce himself.
Hey, Andre, thanks for having me. So, yeah, to all the listeners out there, my name is Alex Cormier. So, I'm a executive lifestyle coach and business owner. So, I'm a co-founder with my business partner in a healthy meal prep business. So, we do basically healthy, ready-to-eat meals for busy people who are either trying to eat better but struggle to cook all of their meals from scratch or just really get into that habit. So that's my main kind of business with my life partner, Vanessa Speranza, and also a business partner. And she's the magic behind the kitchen. I'm not the cook. I'm not the chef. I'm more business
You should have
manager.
brought her. We
Yeah,
need another voice.
yeah,
Maybe next time.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've definitely learned a lot from her, and
Yeah.
in terms of just how to make healthy food taste good. There's a lot of creative ways you can use healthy ingredients and clean ingredients to make really delicious, tasty food, right? It really is about that balance that you were kind of talking about, and kind of getting, I guess, maybe more intimate with your cooking styles or just being willing to explore different ways to cook your food or using different ingredients to make food taste good that still is good for you, right? Because I think that's the biggest thing is sometimes people think, healthy, nutritious food is boring, right?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and so they resist maybe, or they just haven't been exposed to maybe, better ways to cook food or how to really even make healthy food choices if they don't have the option to cook, for example. So but yeah, so I'm a little bit more about myself. So I've, kind of grew up suburban, kind of in the country. So I grew up, my dad was a hunter and stuff. So my mom lived on a farm her whole life. So we've always eaten pretty much whole foods, but we've always, we were still grew up in the 90s where there was still, lots of, pop and sugar and chocolate bars and all these stuff, right? But they were always pretty mindful in putting restrictions around those things so that we didn't overdo that and overindulge. And I think that set a pretty good foundation in terms of I guess nutrition as I was growing up, but I've never really looked at nutrition in a way that would fuel my body, right? I just kind of somewhat knew, okay, there's good foods and maybe not so good foods, right? Like that are maybe not as good for me, right? But then, at 25 years old, I really started to make a really big lifestyle change, like 180 degrees switch. I was partying on weekends, poisoning my body every week kind of thing with alcohol and drugs and partying and staying up late and just not really taking care of myself and my body, to really going completely 180 to meditating every day, to reading books every day, to exercising regularly, to really putting a focus and intent on clean eating. And when I say clean eating, I mean just eating real food and trying to eliminate as much as possible those chemical bound foods or just foods that have, non-food ingredients in them, right?
Yeah.
And that was really what, I guess, in doing that, it was when I really started to get more serious about nutrition and my health and what I put in my body. And I've seen a massive, massive impact and a positive one in terms of like my energy, my confidence, my strength, just my ability to move through life as well, and even bounce back from stress. Right, like when you're immune compromised, essentially, if you're eating junk food all the time, you're immune compromised. Like I don't care, what you tell me. Like if you're not putting nutrient dense foods in your body or exercising regularly, like you are immune compromised.
I agree.
Right?
I agree on that.
And so it makes a big difference when you
with that growth through the years, and you did juggle with your relationship with food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When would you say was the peak of it?
Yeah, it was honestly a little bit overwhelming at first, right? So when I first got introduced to the idea of clean eating and eating more, clean foods, I realized that like everything is full of sugar and ingredients that I have no idea what they are, food dyes or chemical dye, whatever it is, preservatives, all these things that impact your gut and your health. I just started making decisions that were at the time healthier than what I was doing, not necessarily the healthiest, right? So it didn't go from like, eating takeout and junk food or, drinking to 100% whole foods, the next day, right? Yeah. It was very much a learning curve of like, okay, I used to buy these things on a regular basis, and then I start to educate myself on, well, what's in these things? It's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be eating this, right? So then looking for alternatives.
But how do you feel when you're like, maybe I should eat that, and then you're looking at what the dietary restriction or the suggestions are from like the government and stuff like that, and you're like, maybe people should eat it at all too. How do you feel about that? And you got your own knowledge and expertise.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely some government government recommendations, like the food pyramid and stuff. That's not even dietitians. Sometimes like they mean well, and they, and there are some really great dietitians that understand this. Some of them, it's questionable, I guess, in my perspective, is, suggesting a client to eat Cheerios or like, cereal at all, really, like, have a bowl here and there if you want. I mean, I'm also about balance. I'm like, I eat, I'll have pizza.
Add some sugar with your grains.
Yeah. Like, well, it's just like, it's not part of a healthy diet. Yeah. But like a cereal would be more of a treat for me, right? That would be more of like, I want cereal. I'm going to allow myself to have cereal, but it's not a part of a daily thing, right? It's not a part of a daily healthy habit. So, there's definitely a lot of confusion around you should be eating and, what's healthy, what's not, what's a good balanced diet, to optimize your human being, right? And your human potential in terms of health, immunity, strength, energy, all of these things, right? And it really is, I like to really simplify this because it is really simple. It's just not easy, right? Most simple things often are not easy. But it really is just eat real food. Like eat real food eat real food that is closest to its natural form as possible. That is like the rule of thumb for like what you should be eating in terms of ingredients. So like, and then like people have like, oh, well, is it organic? Is it GMO? And all these things. And I went through that whole like trying to buy as much organic as possible and all of these things and as local as possible. And I think that's a great thing to strive for. But I eventually was like,
I'm glad you brought that. Because my next question is going really there. Whether you think the mental health of people have on the choices that they make for their food. Yeah. What's the impact?
Yeah, it's, I would say, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I look back at when I was eating junk all the time, fast food and drinking all the time and stuff, and all of these things, all these bad habits that was basically poisoning my body, like, well, I had a lot more feelings of like depression or anxiety or just low energy, irritable, like just inconsistent moods and energy and stuff like that too. Um, the thing is that I'm still a human and I can still experience those ranges of emotion. It's just now that I feed my body the proper nutrients and exercise regularly and live that lifestyle, like I can bounce back and stay on top of those experiences, right? Those like ups and downs that every human being can experience in life, right? And we all have stressors or can get overwhelmed or whatever. It's not that I don't experience those things anymore. It's that I'm more capable of actually, I have more like inner strength because my body is like fueled, is healthy, right? So okay, I have more resilience. It's like, okay, something bad happens or I'm in a funky mood or something like that. Well, now I don't drown myself in a bottle of liquor and party every weekend to drown those feelings. Now I go for a run, or I, just put good food in my body. I go exercise, right? Or I'll meditate, or I'll read something. And then those habits is actually what allows me to like bounce back from those, let's say, setbacks or uncomfortable emotions that we can all feel as human beings. Because this is like a really important thing I think that most people need to understand too. And I think that a lot of people do is like, it's an emotional game. Like life is an emotional experience, and literally like most of our decisions are driven by emotion. Like your emotions drive most of your decisions. We just like justify it with our logic and our reasoning. But for the most part, without an emotion, there is no motion, right? There's no movement really, right? We need to feel something, whether it's pain or pleasure or like, hurt or joy, right? Something needs to move us. So it's one of those emotions is just, so regulating your emotions is like probably been one of the things that have helped me the most in terms of changing my habits or improving my habits in general for most of the things in life. But food, like a lot of people associate food as this, it's a reward, right?
Yeah.
And how many times have your parents rewarded you with like, let's go get an ice cream or let's go get some McDonald's or it was always that was the reward, right?
I grew up in Grand Falls. My reward was poutine. You know it.
So fries,
J'aime la
gravy,
poutine.
fries, gravy, cheese, yeah.
So what brought you to create Vibrant Life?
Vibrant Life came from a really simple start, which was I had one of my first coaching clients, lifestyle coaching clients. I was helping and coaching him on just his behaviors and his habits, implementing more exercise and better nutrition into his daily routine. And he had communicated to me, he's like, I hate cooking. I don't want to cook. I don't really know what to cook or really how to cook so that I can actually enjoy it, kind of thing, right? He's never really been taught those skills. And he's like, I have the money. I would just like wish someone could just make the food for me and I'll just eat it.
I don't have the time.
And yeah, he was also like an entrepreneur as well. So he was busy and kind of always working and stuff. And so for him, I was like, well, Vanessa's really great in the kitchen. So I just asked her, hey, would you be willing to make, 10 meals for him or 14 meals for him every week, make some extra money, help him out, help my client out, make those changes. And then she kind of took that idea and ran with it, started to market it on Instagram and stuff. And then she started to organically get a couple more clients. So then it just kind of slowly started that way. And then at the time, she was also working at a health food store. And she saw that a lot of people that were coming in were asking for like ready-made, healthy kind of stuff that they could just grab and go and eat. And so that idea continued to like grow and expand organically, and she started selling some meals that she was making to that retail store. And then so that just continued to snowball. And then for about 2 years, I was more hands off in the business. It was more her thing. She was marketing it and kind of growing it, and she was getting some consistency there. And I was just helping a little bit with maybe some.
Jeez, we should, Vanessa, where are you? You should have came. You should have came. What's one thing you're grateful that Vanessa have done in your business so far?
Yeah, I mean, she's the magic in the kitchen, right? Like, so like without her, like the business wouldn't exist in a sense, right? Like, I'm not a cook. I've never even really had a desire to be in the food business necessarily.
Hmm.
And so what really inspired us to like go all in, we kind of got pushed by God or universe, however you want to view that.
Funny
But
how it works, huh?
we just feel like life pushed us because at a certain point she was working out of her parents' commercial kitchen because they had owned a restaurant.
Yeah.
So we kind of had a free ride for a little bit there where
Yeah.
she was we didn't have any overhead, we didn't have any expenses. All she had to do was buy the food, cook the food, sell the food, and then it was good. So
Great.
It was a great deal, right?
It's a great deal.
Yeah, and so our free ride ended when their
Yeah.
restaurant unfortunately had to shut down due to financial reasons, and so that forced us to look at, well, we're already like,
That was your kick out of the nest.
yeah, it was kind of like we had talked about wanting to do our own, open up our own shop and stuff, but this really pushed us into it, and we're happy we did. And yeah, I mean, she brings a lot of creativity when it comes to the food element of things. She's got obviously excellent work ethic when it comes to being able to actually like produce those meals, and get things done. So, and she's a great marketer too. She's fun. People like to engage with her, and she knows how to get people
Amazing.
engaged. So she brings a lot of that creativity element and the essence of what Vibrant Life is. I kind of bring the business management, growth, and support in order to really make this work. And then now we're launching our coaching services, so we offer.
Yeah, you spoke about coaching. Can you
Yeah.
can you talk about a little bit more how you got into coaching and maybe a success story?
Yeah,
Because I have some coaching clients of my own, but it's nice to know other people's coaching experience and what they're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And also like how they shine through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I got started into coaching because of my own struggles.
Okay.
Right. Struggling with confidence, struggling with my own habits in terms of willpower and discipline. And I always wanted more for myself. And then when I started to get introduced to the world of personal development, then I got introduced to the world of coaching. Coaching really shaped and put me on a different direction, because with coaching, it really challenged my perspective. Yeah, big transport
Big truck. They're treating that strip like a drag race, I'm telling you.
But so coaching really helped shape my perspective, challenge my beliefs, challenge my perspectives, and self-image as well, right? Like a lot of that confidence and self-esteem that maybe I have now, like, is a result of being challenged in my first coaching engagement with my coach. So that's when I got me into it. And so I knew that in order to find and create a fulfilling life, I had to pursue something that aligned with my passion, interests, skills, and my pain in some way. I knew that if more people got to experience coaching, they could understand how much power they actually have over their own lives.
Powerful. I like that.
Yeah.
Can you say that right there for them, for your audience, if you want to coach someone?
Yeah, it really is. If more people got to experience coaching, they can understand how much power they have over their lives. And that's what got me into it. I just fell in love with analyzing my own patterns, my own behaviors, and finding strategies and ways to overcome those repetitive self-sabotaging patterns, and building upon new ones that allowed me and pushed me more towards the person I wanted to be, the life I wanted to live, and what I wanted to create for myself. And so that's what got me into it. And, it's been a long journey. I've been coaching pretty much entrepreneurs and professionals for about 8 years now, mostly on the nutrition and habit realm, but also in the life and business and leadership realm as well, a little bit. And some of my clients, since we've launched our Vibrant Fitness program with Vibrant Life, we've onboarded 12 clients, 13 clients so far in just a few months.
That's great.
And a lot of them are reaching their health goals in terms of weight loss and stuff. Like, you know, one of my clients, within 2 months, she was down like 30 pounds. Just with a simplified, personalized approach that just really gave her and all of my clients that clarity in terms of what they need to do, what they need to focus on to really reach their goals, and then helping them with the mindset, because that's the biggest thing, is mindset and emotional set, right?
It is.
So
that's so really when you come to mindset, when you're talking to someone about vibrant life and they might be skeptic about like meal prep, they might not have the time, they're skeptic. What is some common, say, like some common misconception people might have towards either vibrant life or making meal prep, and what are some good ways people can incorporate healthy meal prepping in their daily life?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people just think that eating healthy, again, is kind of boring, right? There's a lot of limiting beliefs, I guess, that you can, you know, they think that they just need to eat rice and potatoes and veggies, right? To like,
I thought that for a while, man.
Yeah, right.
That's all they show.
Yeah. And
in that protein shake.
In the protein shake, yeah, yeah. And disclaimer: you actually don't need protein shake to be in a healthy. You know, it's convenient and it's nice. I use protein powder, but I'm just saying it's definitely not part of an essential, you know, healthy diet, right? It's like you should try and eat your protein if you're gonna, you know, do it. But it is convenient.
It is. It is.
So, I mean, misconceptions, I mean, people, I think it's just really about building the habits and starting small, right? Like a lot of people say they don't have time. It's like, okay, everyone's busy. Some people are figuring it out and some people aren't. So what's the difference, right? Like some people are busier than you and still making it work, right? So is it that you're busy, or is it that you don't have the energy, or is it that you don't know what to do? Or is it that you just aren't prioritizing it, right? Like, it really does come down with everybody has the same minutes in a day, in a sense, right? Like, I get it. If you have a young family and you're working 40 hours, like I get your time strapped. But what helps me be consistent is finding really simple things that are easy to make, that don't take a lot of time, that provide me with the nutrients that my body needs. Because that way it doesn't require a lot of effort, and you can stay consistent, right? And then finding new ways to really make food, right? That it doesn't take a lot of time, right? But also just pre-preparing, right? Like people's just bake a bunch of protein, right? So that you have it for the week, right? And then you don't have to cook protein every time, right?
My cat is having an Orpress. Don't worry. I asked the vet and he was like, no, that's just his attitude. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So don't worry. Don't worry.
It's got an attitude. Yeah. Cats do, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot there to unpack, I guess, and it does depend on the person. Like, people have different opinions or beliefs about food or what they need to do. At the end of the day, though, it really is just about like making decisions like, okay, I want to prioritize my health, right? I want to prioritize eating better, and just making the decision to make an effort to do better, right? And if you're someone who's struggling to even get started, like, I definitely highly recommend finding a coach, whoever that might be. Like, get some support to at least get you started, get some clarity, and you'll learn a lot from working with people like that, right? Like, a lot of the knowledge that I've gotten been through investing in other coaches, right? And then I get to consume and integrate their knowledge, their experience, and then now I have those in my tool belt to be able to use for myself and then also my other clients, right? So
I love that. I really love that answer. It's like it's really rounding everything up.
Yeah.
This is a really good conversation.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your next step, and how can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find, if you're in the Moncton area, and you're interested in healthy meals that can fuel your vibrant life, and you want to save time on meal prep, you can find our meals and our meal options and stuff at vibrantlifemeals.ca. And you can find us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, at Vibrant Life Meals. And connect with us there. And if you're interested in learning more about coaching, just hit us up, and we'll set up a chat to learn more about you and your goals, and see how we can get you on a path to living your most vibrant life, which is our mission and goal with the business.
Love it. Love it. Just pure wisdom. Before we wrap it up today, I have one question. What does the eyes to us mean to you?
Eyes to us?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
It's all about giving any answer. You can make it up if you want. It's an answer.
Eyes to us. I mean,
no wrong answer, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it really is about, I suppose, being there for each other, right? Like, human beings have evolved through learning from each other, and I think that we continue to do that in a lot of ways, but I also feel like we limit ourselves in terms of how much more we can support each other, right? So reaching out to people and asking for their thoughts and or support, I think is a way for all of us to elevate and grow together, because at the end of the day, I feel like we've grown more isolated as a society, and I think that bringing us together and through sharing wisdom and knowledge on podcasts and stuff, but also in person and reaching out to people in your inner circle, or at least in your area where you can really get in front of them, get around them to really learn from them. Eyes to us.
For someone who doesn't know, you gave a pretty good answer, a great answer. Thank you very much, Alex. I really appreciate our conversation today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, everyone. That wraps it up for our episode today on mindful eating and how to incorporate nutritious, daily, healthy habits, eating habits in your daily life. I messed that up. But if you like to hear and find more information about Alex and Vanessa and Vibrant Life, all the links will be in the show notes and also in the show description. You can find a link to my coaching services on www.drezamor.com and also learn more information. Send me a message if you'd like to come on the episode, on one of the episodes, and share your perspective on what is the eyes to us. And also, I have a voice. I want to hear your experiences and how we were led to connect. For now, I remember, stay evolving, stay at peace, and what is to us is all up to us.
It's a little bit abstract when you're just walking around trying to think up stuff. And there are no physical parts. You're just trying to grab something out of the air, an idea, or and then you realize that a lot of it's just trying to solve the riddle of life.